All right. So I want to welcome you all to the first edition of César Mascorro Jr.'s Trailer Wars. We're calling this podcast the Trailer Wars Podcast. And why are we calling it the Trailer Wars Podcast? Well, because as some of you may know, or maybe you don't know, my background is all about manufactured homes. Mobile homes, whatever it is that you want to call them. And lots of people, clients, people in the industry and whatnot, always refer to manufactured homes as trailers. So I've had this idea in my head for so long. Man, I've been in this business. I was in manufactured homes back in 2011, I think is when I started. 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. And that was right in the whole time of the Storage Wars show, right? That was on TV. And I thought, man, it'd be great if they did some sort of reality deal, and we called it Trailer Wars. And that name has always stuck with me. I'm trademarking it, by the way, so don't try anything. And so with that being said, that's why we're calling this podcast the Trailer Wars Podcast, because it's everything that has to do with manufactured homes. In this, we're going to be discussing from different types of products, different types of sales and techniques, and just the ins and outs, man. And we'll have people in here to discuss what's going on with the industry, what's going on with the business, what's going on in the market, just to have fun as well. So for those of you that don't know, introduce myself a little bit. My name is César Mascorro Jr. César. If you can't say César, it's okay. César works as well. We'll get into the whole story on the César thing down the road, I'm sure. But for right now, I spent the last 12 years inside the manufactured home industry, from sales to operations, sales managers to general manager. And in April of 2023, today is June 7th. All right. So in April of 2023, I finally decided to take the leap and go out on my own and start this business of trying to help salespeople and retailers in the industry through sales training and different types of products. And you'll learn more about that as we go along. Today really is just an introductory edition, so to speak, into why I'm doing this, what it is that we're offering, and really just a little lay the groundwork for what's to come here in the future. Okay. Man, I love the digs here for this podcast, and you're only seeing a portion of the room, but we've got a setup here, 4 mics, and just it's perfect. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm getting a sign made with the company name that we'll have in the background as well. Yada yada yada, on and on and on. But it's just something that has been spinning around in my head for years, going out on my own and helping folks out to better themselves, better the industry, and help the end user, who I like to call the end user, the client, the homeowner, get into their very own home. Because right now, what's needed more than anything is true assistance for families to be able to get into affordable housing. And so there's no better way, in my opinion, to accomplish that than through manufactured housing. And yes, there's negative stigmas, connotations, whatever you want to describe it as, within the industry as far as manufactured homes are concerned. And we're going to use this platform as well to dispel all that negativity. So anyway, Trailer Wars. That's what we're all about here, baby. And in this first episode, I just want to give a little bit of background on how this whole company came to be, what we're trying to get accomplished, what direction we're going, and how we're going to do it. And then just let it go from there. And this hopefully will be a weekly podcast that we come with. And I'm working on getting some cool intro music, man. That was the whole thing. I don't know if I'll be able to have it on this episode, but we're working on getting it. For those of you that know me, know that, yes, I am a rock and roll guy. So it'll be something rock-based and probably Foo Fighters. Yes. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, so let's get into this, man. I started in manufactured homes, like I said, back in late 2010, early 2011. And I got into the industry through, back then, a friend of mine. I got into the industry out of necessity. Those of you that are old enough to remember 2008, there was an economic collapse, so to speak, in the country, kind of like what we're almost teetering on right now. I don't know. Time seems like it's getting back there again. But anyway, I don't like to discuss all that stuff. But anyway, prior to that, I was in the site built industry. Okay, what our customers in the manufactured home world like to call a house. And those of you that have worked with me, been on my teams, know how much I just truly despise the term house. So you want to get under my skin, that's what you want to call it, a house. So site built homes or the house. That's what I used to do. It all started for me back in high school. Very long time ago, I took a drafting class, and I just fell in love with it from there. Now, I'm born and raised in San Antonio, Texas, okay? San Antonio, Texas. And so here is this kid, 16 years old, okay? I know I don't look a day over 25. 16-year-old kid, all right? And I take a drafting class. Mr. Brown, I still remember to the day. Mason had this big old ring from the Masons, and there's a whole bunch of stories going around about that guy. But anyways, I was at Memorial High School in the Edgewood Independent School District. Shout out to Edgewood ISD, one of the poorest school districts in the whole state of Texas. Took this class, man, and I fell in love with drafting, and I fell in love with architecture. I went, and back then, I don't know if it's still called VICA or not, I did a competition, drew out some plans for a house, and guess what? I made it all the way to state. Actually, I won state. It was going to go to nationals, but I was too poor to go to nationals, so I didn't get to go. But anyway, I loved it. And from then, I have been in the housing industry since then. 1993, took my first job within the industry as a CAD technician, little computer drawing, man. That was so cool back then. And did that for a while, and then went out on my own back then, early 2000s, and design build within the city of San Antonio and around Texas. And 2008 came around, economic collapse, dumb guy right here, rolled the dice, spent all the money. Anyways, out of necessity, landed in the manufactured home industry. A buddy of mine calls me one day and tells me, hey, why don't you come and visit me out here at the sales lot? Sit down and talk to me. I think it'd be a great opportunity for you. I think you do well in manufactured home sales. And has like, hold the phone. You want me to do what? I said, yeah, come on in, man. Come and see about selling manufactured homes with me. He was a sales manager there at the time. And I'm like, hey, yeah, I appreciate it, but do you know who I am? Yeah, I was one of those people, man. I thought of these things, the mobile homes as a lesser quality product, and which is still around nowadays, right? From people who don't understand the true quality of a manufactured home. So anyways, long story short, out of necessity, I go and sit down with him. I meet with him. I meet with the owner just outside San Antonio, south of San Antonio, and decided, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot because I think there's some money to be made here. Got into that place as a salesperson down in Von Ormy, Texas. Those of you who know me from there, you know that's where it all started. So anyways, I learned so much about the product. I learned so much about the business from the owner there, everybody that was involved, my general manager there at the time. Man, I learned so much. It's funny how that whole story came full circle towards the end of my career in the retail side of this business. But anyway, I started in the manufactured home sales world. It's funny how I tell people all the time, when I started in this business at the company I was at, great company, and I learned a lot, like I said, but man, there was no real training program. I don't know if there is now yet. They had great systems in place, don't get me wrong, but the training left something to be desired, right? And so couple hours in front of the GM, we're going over stuff. This is how we do it. This is what we do. This is what you need to do. Be on the phones, get people in. We'll sell them, and we just go from there. I'm like, all right, well, I'll give it a shot for a while. My first day, like I said, a couple hours of just going through some stuff, and then I sat down in an office with chair, phone, and a stack of leads. Stack of old, what we call e-leads back then. I still call them e-leads, but anyways, stack about this high, and they just told me, okay, call them, get them in the door. So I start dialing, man. I'm needing the money, and I'm just calling everybody, and not really understanding what I'm saying, what I need to say, but I got into it that way. And lo and behold, the first 30 days in this business is crazy. 30 days, boom. And I made almost $10,000 in my first 30 days, like actually in my bank account. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. For those of you watching that may be in this industry or thinking about getting into the industry, doesn't happen that quick most of the time where you're going to make 10, 20 grand in your first 30 days. Just the pay structure at this place was set up in a way that you could get some money real quick. Okay. So great. I was like, wow. Okay. And next thing you know, here we are 12 years later, and I just bleed manufactured homes. Don't really even think about the site-built industry anymore, the house, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love anything that has to do with housing, and could possibly in the future get back into doing some stuff in the inner city, in providing some site-built homes, assistance with that or whatever it might be. But for right now, and for here on out, this is my legacy. I have decided, I have figured out how I am going to do things through this vehicle that is manufactured homes. Because I have seen the beautiful things that we have been able to do for families. I mean, you meet all types of people in this industry that are coming to see of how is it that you can help them get out of the situation that they're currently in. How can you help them get out of that home that is falling apart, or maybe they're renting somewhere that they're being thrown out of because the person who owns it is trying to sell it, whatever the situation may be, man. I've seen all different types of situations that families have found themselves in, and have always wanted to help in the best way possible. And this gives those families that opportunity to own their own home. So those of you that are in the industry right now, understand you have a great responsibility to help each and every one of your clients to accomplish that goal. And so with that being said, I started in sales and then was promoted to operations manager. I did operations for a little over 2 years for that same company that I started with. Then from there, spent the last 3 years there as a general manager, opened up a location for them, actually 2 locations from the ground up, like there was nothing there. It's not like I came in and it was already established and, hey, we're removing that GM and you're going to be the GM. That's not what happened here. This place, like I had to drive 2 hours south of San Antonio, find where we're going to set up, because I talked to the owner about it. I said, hey, this is the city we need to be in. We need to be in here because there is a huge need. And it was I love building things from the ground up. And I think that's probably one of the things that scares my wife the most, is because I am a true risk taker, just like with this thing that we're building now. But anyways, found the land, found the product, got it all put together, got houses delivered, lot set, trimmed, furnished, put on home shows, everything. Built up a staff. We were officing in an office probably about this size when I first started down there, when we first opened up down there. 2 salespeople, no sales office, no product, just a dream. And so anyway, did that. And then from then on, I moved on to the corporate side of the retail industry and ended up with a company here in San Antonio, a great company with some great leadership, and learned even more while I was there, even though I thought I knew everything. It was a true humbling experience, and man, we'll probably get into that down the road and explain how that happened. But I think I can say the name right now. I was over at Titan Factory Direct for 6 years as well. Started in sales, became sales manager, and then general manager for the last almost 3 years that I was with the company. And just finally decided, you know what? It's time to chase that dream, to build that dream. I'm not chasing it. I'm going to do it. We're going to work together at some point in time. Any of you watching this, at some point in time, you and I, or my team, are going to work together, because we are here to revolutionize the manufactured home industry. And we're going to do that through improving the sales personnel, the housing consultants. Not that you're bad. I'm not saying that, please. It's just we all need help. We all need that partnership. And believe me, I've been in your shoes. Wherever you're at, whatever position you're in, I have been there in this business. And so I have seen what is great within the industry, and I've seen what's lacking. And the one thing that is lacking is a true support system for the sales teams. Because let's face it, without sales, we got nothing. Without sales, the business does not exist. Sales is where it starts. And so much happens through that. We have such a huge effect, not just in the company or on the company that we're working for, but to the communities, to the families. Because you think about it, right? I'm sitting across the desk from a family that needs help. Well, I'm not only providing a solution to their problem, but once I do and decide to partner up with me and we move forward, we get everything done. Think of everyone who's involved because of that one house. From the lenders to the builders, to the contractors of the builders who's supplying the windows, the roofing, appliances, cabinets, and on and on and on, right? So you're providing work for them. You're providing work for drivers. You're providing work for setup crews. You're providing tax dollars for municipalities. You're providing work for the plumbers and electricians. There's so many people impacted because you, as a housing consultant, were able to get your prospect, your client, to say yes. I want you, Cesar, to help me accomplish my goal of owning my own home or improving my lifestyle, improving my situation by purchasing this better home, whatever it may be. Those are the things that we're after. That feeling, that dopamine hit, the adrenaline rush, whatever it is that it is for you. We're here to be able to help make that easier for you. And at the same time, when I say revolutionize the industry, is because one of the things that, man, just like I said, there's a negative connotation still. People turn their nose up, right, to this product sometimes. I describe it all the time. I think you and I know the money that's available to you in this industry if you do it right. But most people driving up and down that street past that sales lot don't even stop to think that, wow, there's money in that business. And there is. And can you imagine if we provided a top tier service across the board because we respected ourselves as professional housing consultants? We respected ourselves for what we do, and we respect the prospect, and we respect the business, and we respect the product. It's one of the things that I always preach to my teams is respect yourself more than anything, first and foremost. Respect the company, respect the product, and respect your client. And in doing that, it all comes down to how are you approaching the business? The way you approach the business, the way that you prepare yourself, the way that you train, the way that you improve yourself, and it never ends. The way you do that is how you're going to make an impact. And so going back to what I was saying earlier, right? I know that there is something missing within this business, which is a true training program. Now, some companies out there have them. I was blessed to be with the company the last 6 years in the industry that had an awesome training program, and we trained every day, and it was part of the culture. But for the most part, in most companies and most retailers out there, man, to no fault of your own, it just doesn't exist. Let's be honest. So we are here, myself, my team, in a developing company, and so I've got this company, and we're developing an online training platform, okay, to be able to provide to the retailers and the individual consultants, and we're going to provide consulting packages on top of that, where we'll be able to help also not just with sales staff, but with management staff as well, because we've done it all. And we know what works and we know what doesn't work. I'm not trying to change your business, okay? Please don't sit there watching this and think, how's this guy going to tell me how to run my business? It's not what it's about. It's about just understanding that there are ways that we can improve on it. Because if we can improve on it and we can provide a better service, well, then we can turn this industry on its head and we can start getting the respect on a higher level. It's gotten better. It's much, much better than what it's been even when I started 12 years ago. But we can do so much more. And so my company and I manufacture home sales mastery. Remember that name, Manufactured Home Sales Mastery. That is the product that we are bringing to market. And within that product, like I said, it's online training, but we're also offering one-on-one coaching. We're offering team coaching. We're offering consultation or consulting for your management team or for you as the owner. For the whole business, we'll come in and look at your systems and processes and inventory and all of those things and figure out the best plan to help improve your output, improve revenue, improve production. Because at the end of the day, we're here to help, right? You are here to help that client as best as possible, but you're also here to make some money. So we're here to help you maximize that. And it all comes with better preparing our sales staff. That is where we're starting. That is the starting point for Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, is better preparing the sales staff, because with competence comes confidence. The more competent they are, the more confident they will be, the more they will respect themselves, the more they'll respect your company, the more they will respect the product, and the more they will respect the client. And that is what most people think they get out there when they go look at a house. But then when they come and look at our product, now they're trying to run the show and they think that, man, it's just, it's like coming in and buying a car. Well, it ain't. Or isn't. Sorry, I'm trying to use proper grammar. What we do, in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, is just the same, if not better, than the site-built industry. That's why I'm not designing a program for the site-built industry. I'm designing a program for the manufactured home industry. For you, all the independent retailers out there, manufactured home communities that have sales staff, for even corporate companies that may want to get on board, investors, manufactured home associations across the country. We are going to be there. We're going to do this huge. Because at the end of the day, for me, this all started with one purpose in mind. And that purpose is to be able to help as many families as possible all across the country. When I got into this business, yes, it was out of need. Yes, it was because I needed to make money. Yes, those $10,000 I made the first 30 days, like, wow. But then, once I got to a point in my life where the money was great, my family was taken care of, we were able to do things that trips and homes and cars. And we'll get into all that later because, hey, even within the business, I lost it all. But we'll talk about that later and why that happened. But anyway, get it all back. Take amazing trips. And so this industry can do such a great thing for you and your families by helping other families. So anyway, the whole purpose is to help that client and as many as possible. And so when I was a salesperson on the sales floor, I know that I was able to help families to a certain extent, right? Because there was only so many families I could meet with. There's only so many families that I could help. And then I moved up to sales manager. And now there's more because I had team working. And as a general manager, the same thing. I was capped by the limit of those 4 to 6, 8 salespeople that were on the team. That's as many families as we could help. And so my dream has been to help as many families as possible because I've seen the conditions that they live in. Hell, I lived in some of those conditions myself growing up as in the west side of San Antonio, poorest side of San Antonio. My parents are from Mexico. I've seen some stuff. We'll get into cussing later. I've seen some stuff. And so with that came the thought that, man, if we could just reach each and every housing consultant out there across the country and help them just get 1% better every day. Now think of the amount of families that we're going to impact. And that is the purpose of Mascorro Jr. Enterprises, Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, Trailer Wars. All of it is to help as many families as we possibly can all throughout this great country to become homeowners and provide them true affordable housing. So I'm going to leave you with that as we close out the first edition of the Trailer Wars podcast right here, live. Well, isn't it really live? Coming to you from San Antonio, Texas. Man, I can't wait to keep going on this and build from it and bring guests in here and just give you all that you need. So go on our social media. Go follow my pages. There's information coming out. The program is going to be launched pretty soon, but we are doing one-on-one training already. So don't wait until then because we're doing special things to help folks out, help you out. So reach out to us now. Let's get it done. Check out the links in the description below or wherever they may be. Reach out to us. We are here to help. We're here to partner with you so that you win. And at the end of the day, that homeowner wins. Whether you're a retailer, a housing consultant, upper management, it doesn't matter. Manufactured home community. We are here to help you. If you're in the manufactured home world, we are your partner in your goals. So, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. We are in June, baby. First full week of June. And we're going to turn this world around. Turn it upside down. Revolutionize the business. Am I thinking big? Am I dreaming? Probably so. But I am taking that with me and building a legacy on it. And I hope that we can do this together. So until then, I can't wait to meet you. You guys have a great time. Reach out to us. We're blessed to do what we do. And I'll be seeing you very, very soon.